You're walking along with your lunchbox, and then all of a sudden, a threat. Oh! You're walking along with your lunchbox, then all of a sudden, a threat. You're walking along with your lunchbox, and all of a sudden, you encounter a threat. How do you do, my fellow civilians? It is not I, man with a folding gun. Surely not. Nothing to see here. Nothing suspicious about thee. Until... Gentlemen, I present to you the Lethal Lunchbox. Story time. I was at my LGS perusing and I saw this thing. Yes, this thing being the B&T BWC9. A big reason why this thing exists is in the name, but we'll get there in a second. But I was looking at it and I was like, okay, this thing is kind of silly. It looks like a good time. I like weird guns, and I was really on the fence, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this would be a fun video. So now you all have to suffer through this. I purchased this with my own money. Technically, it's like part of the business for what I do here, but
I don't care who the IRS sends, I am not paying taxes.
why does this thing exist? Well, like I said, the answer is in the name. It's the BWC9, because we can 9. Someone at B&T was like, you know what sounds fun? A folding gun.
My lunchbox is gonna kill somebody.
I remember playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and I was one-shotted to my brain the idea of a gun that deploys out like this thanks to the FMG9 from Magpul. Ever since I saw that thing when I was a younger lad, I knew that one day, some way, somehow, the good Lord was gonna get to me a gun that folds out. And right now, this is it. So it is like the prophecy being fulfilled. And thankfully, my financial purchase is like backed up by having a YouTube channel where I can talk about it. Otherwise, I would like come home with this and my old lady would be like, dude, what are you doing with that? Why do you have that? Why do you need another gizmo gadget that happens to shoot 9mm? Folding guns. Folding guns have technically been around for a while. Just go watch any Forgotten Weapons episode and you'll see Ian like with some obscure folding gun, whether it's something like back from like the Cold War era. You know, someone could even say like maybe a Mauser C96 or whatever artillery one they had that collapses down into the stock. That's not really a folding gun though. I wouldn't count that. Would you count that?
No.
Yeah, that's right. Magpul's folding gun, when they brought out that thing back in the day, that was like everyone just going ooh and ah, and then it never really came to market. I think there are more companies now bringing some folding guns. I don't know if it was Agency. I'd have to double check. We'll like edit or note it in, but it was one of those companies out there like coming out with a new folding gun. I think it's gonna give this thing a run for its money. This thing is a bit goofy for a lot of reasons I wanna talk about. Ultimately, I will say, it is fun. It's definitely a more unique firearm to have in the collection. If we approach this from a enjoyment aspect, I definitely enjoy it. Funnest part is just deploy, and now I gotta ooh. It's definitely a crowd pleaser. Say you're going out to the range and you're bringing some people that don't really shoot often, and you're like, you guys wanna see something cool? Check this out. They're gonna go bananas. But the question is, from a practical standpoint, how does it hold up? I'm gonna be honest, I was really racking my small YouTuber monkey brain, the size of a walnut. How does this fall into the land of practicality, right? With all the guys you see here on the tube being like, okay guys, here is a scenario with SHTF. The Russians are invading. What kit do I grab? Do I grab my 10.5 Recce rifle, or do I grab my 20-inch CQB house clearing gun? What do I do? There's a lot of jokes in there. If you get it, you know. Realistically, this thing is like a PDW, a personal defense weapon, where you're trying to sell the idea of being discreet. When we look at B&T's marketing on their website, they're like, it's a gun that can hide in plain sight. If you look at the pictures on there, there's like someone working on a laptop, and then you can like see like they did the whole thing where it's like coming out of the bag and it's like just plain as day there. I hate that. I feel like anybody that can recognize guns would be like, oh, cool, an aim-point acro on a BWC9. Hey man, you know you're in suburbia, right? Like, Now, if I was turning onto Martin Luther King Boulevard and going to a coffee shop there, then perhaps I would want some more firepower. The problem is, every scenario that you want to try and like justify this thing existing in, I feel like it falls short. To be fair though, it is fun. Hello? Oh my God, they shut the water off. Gentlemen, this video is sponsored by Americana Pipe Dream Apparel. Fantastic young Zoomers getting after the milsurf space and arena. Night vision knives, manuals, e-bikes. Expensive yet fun. Can you put a price on having a good time day drinking on a electric e-bike as the cops chase you down for having an unregistered electric vehicle? Sure you can. You can't do that. But of course their bread and butter being milsurf clothing. Scare the hose on your first date if you manage to land one after getting out of your mother's basement by wearing some obscure military uniform. They're gonna love that. The ladies typically do. Code admin, get you 10% off at Americana Pipe Dream Apparel. Optics, I love them, you need them. And of course, Optics Planet has a slew of things. Badlands Munitions, we were shooting some fat bastards, 147 grain, some good low recoil stuff so I could game the drills that much better, and they did a good job. Not only do they have that, but they have a bunch of other stuff. They made an 85 grain 5.56 projectile. It's actually pretty impressive. They went down the rabbit hole of like precision AR-15 stuff, and the 85 grain was one of the things that came about. Back to fold out gun. A whole reason something like this is even practical in the first place is because it enhances your shot placement and accuracy over distance with a 9mm handgun. What's going on with this is it's just a P320 in a chassis that gives you multiple touch points of contact where you can get more accurate with it. That's the main benefit to it, right? Once you deploy it, and the thing's an SBR, so I had to do the whole tax stamp BS.
Once you deploy it,
You now pretty much have an SBR that you can use. It's kind of like a similar vein as a Flux Raider.
wow!
So the idea behind it is you're more accurate using this 9mm setup that's supposed to be more compact of the package. He said the line. When you hear compact package on GunTube, you simply cannot unhear it. Every swinging on this platform says compact package when talking about small guns. I have the power! Right, the merit though. If the merit is like, all right, you're taking like your handgun, that would be a P320. Yes, I know it has all the problems, but spare me the details. And then you toss into this thing, boom, you have a chassis where you can make more accurate hits. We demonstrate this. All right, so first what we're gonna do is gonna be an obvious one, but from the timer, deploying to a threat, both a regular concealed handgun and then the BWC9. Now, as you clearly saw there, kind of fumbled the bag a little bit. Literally the first shots of the day being out here. And it's gonna be the same thing with the BWC9, just so you get as cold of a start as possible. Did a build drill. Oh. I forgot to check the timer. So we're just gonna double check just so I know. So it's not gonna be the coldest start of the day. It says it's a 362. Is that right? I feel like it was not that fast. And that was a 258. So okay, that was a 362 then. All right. Okay, 6 shots, 362. I'll just mark all these up. Getting lost in my own science. I am not shooting the USPC well today. I already kind of know from this distance what the results are gonna be, as administrative as they are. He said it, he said it. But it's always fun just for the live demo aspect of it. Oh, Demolition Ranch. You guys remember demo? Oh God. Told you we're starting it raw. Literally double the amount of time with the fumble. Much more accurate though, of course. Only one Charlie, and that's because I suck. An obvious test. Where it's gonna become less obvious is as we open it up to distance. Wait, no, it's still gonna be kind of obvious. All right, now we're gonna open it up. We're about 35, maybe 40 yards from the target furthest right. We're gonna start with a pistol, and of course go back to the foldy gun. .741, 8 shots. Let's go check the hits. Let's go check the results. The administrative result. All right, looking bad. Out of 8 shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I technically shoot a lot. Am I good? Nah, not really. But even with how much I shoot, opening up the distance with a handgun, you know, a compact handgun like the USPC. We're doing a little blood diamond maxing right now. Even doing that, you can see just how hard it becomes trying to shoot a pistol accurately under time. And the cardboard's not even trying to kill me. I'm trying to murder the cardboard. It's like an execution of cardboard out here. Somebody call the police. This guy's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 alphas, 1 Charlie, and I don't know if Colton actually got the shooting portion of this. So hypothetically, Colton, what would you do if I killed you with a hatchet?
I'd die.
Yeah, hypothetically you died. You wanna know why?
Why?
Because you gotta hit record on the camera.
I don't know what happened there.
Now we have to do this whole shooting bit over again so they can actually see what happened.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it happens. All right, come on. All right, so our camera was being cattywampus, so we gotta do this portion again. Here we go. Fight! .751, technically faster than the first time. I definitely felt myself throwing my high left, his high right. So let's go check the results. Yeah, I really stacked him in there. Looks like I have at least 3 Charlies this time though, despite me being faster. Now what I want to try is strictly headshot only. We're gonna go 1 shot with the pistol. What this is simulating is a bad guy doing nefarious things who is up armored from head to toe, ballistic helmet, body armor, and potentially, of course, a long gun, most likely a long gun. So your best bet is to just send a 9mm round right between the eyes, if God can guide your bullets. I'm not feeling too good about this with the USPC on double action, so I may cheat it. .409, 1 shot. Let's see what we get. Nothing. Nothing with the handgun. You are dead. Congrats. Thanks for playing. Dude, I'm a stud. Why'd they not lock back? I'm a stud within 5 feet with the lunchbox gun. .499, 1 shot. Slower. Didn't even hit it with the longer gun. Well, we missed on both. That speaks more to me and my skills. What is the story behind? Oh, hold on, I'm getting a call. This better be good. Oh, hey. Yeah, I'll tell him. All right. I'm filming a video right now. Okay. Hey, that was your mom. She said you need to get off the toilet, but make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment in the comment section down below. She was really adamant that that comment is a sacrifice to the algorithm god, because YouTube don't like what we got going on here. So it helps out with the algorithms. Yeah, I'll let her know that you love her. Okay. Now, from that footage, you can see that I was more accurate with this thing than I was with a handgun. Sure, you could be some great handgun shooter and eat my lunch all day, but all I had to do was push a button, and then now I can be easily accurate out to distance with 9mm. So that's the cool thing about it. The problem is, how do you practically employ this in any real life setting? One would look at this and think, oh yeah, dude, the secret squirrel, personal protection guys that do security for, you know, famous people and politicians, they'd eat this thing up. But would they? Like, how do you carry this thing around practically? It's like, okay, yeah, you can put it in a bag, but at that point, you still have to deploy this thing. You have 3 big steps to do to get this thing to shoot under a high stress situation. 3 big steps. Push the button, smack the mag in, get a purchase on the firearm, Tactical Ebonics. You then have your rinky-dink charging handle, and you gotta charge it home, and then you can engage the bad guy. With another compact package, say you have a Flux Raider, you pull it out, you hit a button, and if you already have it chambered, you just hit the safety, and you're up. Pretty much any other gun too, you just pull it out and you just hit a safety if it's already chambered. The steps aren't that different depending on what you're using. Like say you're using an MP5K and you get to take it out and like whip out a stock or slide out a stock. Okay, there's one step. Say if you're doing not one of the chamber, then you have to charge it. And then say you have to flick the safety, there's still 3 steps, but the fold out process feels like it takes way longer. We'll time it. We'll pretend all guns are chambered for safety. Boom, deployed. What was my time? Throw it up. Boom, throw my time up. I didn't bring any other examples. Just use your imagination. In theory, right, if you're doing like a security detail and you wanted to have more firepower on you than just a handgun, I mean, you're still having pretty much a pistol here, but yet again, we covered it's more accurate. But say you wanted something like that, it's not that hard to get a bigger coat depending on your environment and then just hiding that underneath that. With this, it's kind of like an awkward shape where you still have to deploy it like that and create the space to whip it out. Could you like just straight up purse method it where it looks like a purse on you and then you just go to it? You know, like that's what I was thinking about. Because you have this carry handle thing for it. And I think they were talking about having a sling setup that goes along with it. And it's like, yeah, you could do that. I mean, you absolutely could rig up a sling to this thing and you could tote it around underneath, but you still have like this rectangle on you. And granted, like it folds up and it's more compact than a Flux Raider when it's all folded up. The silhouette, you can see the Flux Raider sticking out on each side, all geared up, and then you have the magazine, the YouTube compliant magazine. Yeah, I mean, once it's all folded down, it's pretty slick. One of the first times I took it out, I was being a silly goofball and I shot it and then I threw it and I broke it.
Durability test. Not sailing colors right now. Yeah, don't throw your lunchbox, kids.
And so then I hit up B&T and I was like, hey, what's your guys' warranty for this? I broke my BWC9 and they're like, oh, is it from this video? And they sent me my video that I posted of it. I was like, yeah, that's me. Yeah. They still fixed it though. It's pretty nice of them. Hey, shout out to them. The magazine in the folding setup is locked in right here. So if it's all the way in, the gun can't fold up. It goes against the rules of physics. 2 objects cannot occupy the same space. So you have it staged right here. When you deploy it, you then slam it in. That way it can all fold into a nice little setup so you can have a magazine ready to go. If you squeeze it though, the thing comes out. Now, sadly, I cannot for the life of me get this YouTube compliant mag custom built just for my channel to work inside of the gun. Like it just won't lock in. Maybe, you know, the plastic on the bottom, if it got cut down, it could probably work, is my guess, because that seems to be the biggest interference. Watch me just break it again on camera. Get in there. This is a PG-13 channel now. So that's a bummer. If you wanted to take those SIG mags, the extended YouTube compliant SIG mags, and you were planning to run it with this gun, say after the first mag that folds up into it goes dry, those extended YouTube compliant SIG mags aren't gonna fit in their current state. Probably gonna need some modification. I'm not sure if they sell them without that plastic piece on the bottom off the top of my head, if I'm being honest. Listen, I'm not an encyclopedia of all products created inside of this space, dude. I can't keep track of 9 gajillion things going on. I'm already simple-minded as it is. Now, when you buy this thing, you buy the chassis, P320 not included. So then you need to Form 1 the P320 fire control unit to use this legally. I'm not telling you what to do, I'm not your dad. But this is what I would do because I'm recording this in 4K. I don't want the feds being like, hey, is that an illegal SBR? It's like, dude, I don't wanna go to prison. Prison's yay. Yet again, do what you want, it's your life. Now the chassis itself is what makes this interesting, right? The hardware inside of it, it's the industry kind of standard so far, despite all of the P320 problems for creating cool chassis on the market. It just makes a lot of sense with that fire control unit. As more stuff comes out, I think different companies are going to give SIG a run for their money, and you're gonna see other chassis built around different things. Like there used to be, you know, Glock Flux chassis, but then they're like, dude, the fire control unit just makes this really easy. So I get it. The chassis itself is what like kind of the star of the show, but it is expensive. Is it really kind of worth it? It's a big dinero investment for what this thing is. I think it's made of like aluminum. There's definitely like a hollow sound when you shoot. I mean, you have like this big old space. I'm touching the end of my P320. I know it's clear. This is how much up to my knuckle of just dead space inside of there that there is. It gets the job done though. I do like the built-in hand stop right here. That's kind of fun. It definitely looks appealing to the eye. The aesthetics are impressive for what it is. Now, it does come with an aim-point acro when you buy it. That does contribute to the price heavily. There's no like arguing with it. You have to buy the acro with this thing.
I am going to find the B&T engineer who thought this was a good idea, because I want to adjust the top of my acro without needing another hex key while using the aim point hex key or star key, whatever you want to call it. But I can't get it to fit because of the carry handle rail on top of this stupid box. Ah!
Hello? It really looks like a big radio when it's all folded up. Should get like an antenna for it. But maybe we get it like, put like some Apple stickers on it, and then it could be a true secret squirrel. Get like a USB hooked up to it, and it's like sits next to your laptop in the coffee shop. So you're the most armed dude in whatever hipster coffee shop you go to. The charging handle. This is a big downside to this thing. The leverage to charge the P320 inside of this little chassis, it feels like it takes a ton of leverage to get the job done. Like, you have to really put some muscle grease into it. I feel like I'm iron deficient trying to work this thing. And then of course you still have to reset it after you're done. So it's like, all right, you pull on it, it's still gonna stick out. There's no like spring reload. There's a bit of a stock wobble on mine. It kind of gets negated if you just squeeze down on the gun when you're shooting, so not the biggest deal. The failure point when I broke it was this back piece right here. It's like this plastic piece, and it ended up just snapping like in half. So that's what kind of ended up putting the kibosh on this thing, and I had to send it back to get fixed up. In theory, they could have sent me like a new plastic piece, I guess, but whatever. They have like a little fun little briefcase logo on this thing. I really do feel like I'm a sci-fi villain. Roll scene. We're here. Roll scene. Don't laugh. We're here for the MacGuffin. That's one thing I do worry about is like, I really feel like at any point, if I just go too hard on this thing in any way, shape or form, I'm just gonna break it again. There's a lot of moving parts, you know? It doesn't feel like it's mega robust, but it's cool. It's cool nonetheless. All right, which one of you wanna die first? At the end of the day, yet again, I think the reason this thing exists is because we can 9. I was wondering, like at B&T, when they were starting to make this thing, if they're like, yeah, this seems like a fun project, and then they maybe got like into it and they're like, ooh, this is gonna be more expensive to like bring to market than we thought. So that's why the price is so steep for it, so to try and like cover their costs and make some money back. Yeah, it's business at the end of the day. They wanna make a profit. So it's cool, it's fun. The practicality I do think is very low. The fun factor, very high. If you want to take this to the range, spice up your drill life with you and the bros. You all take turns who can get the fastest times with this thing. Makes it kind of fun. You know, I really am curious to see what other companies do and come out with. I know that when I got this, or at least when I saw it and then I got it, I was like, man, this looks like a good time. It fits the bill for like the fun, weird stuff that I like to go over on the channel, like weird bullpup SKS guns or other weird things. Like, I just dig that vibe. I think it's a good time. I got nothing else for you. I'll catch you guys in the flip. Godspeed.
До свидания. Oh wait, that's why. Slide was locked to the rear. This gun is not idiot proof.